Hello and welcome back to Ryan Harmer YouTube. Today we are going to be looking at some par 3 strategies, something that I don't think gets talked about overly much, and I think it's such an important part of the game, especially for amateur players to really kind of think about how they can improve their strategy on the golf course. So I'm here at Manning's on the Kingfisher course. The third hole is 175, 180 yard kind of par 3. So a pretty standard par 3 length that you would see on the golf course. So this is about a stock 7-iron for me. And something that I'm thinking about when I get to a par 3, and this has maybe changed over the last kind of few years as I've gained more experiences. A lot of the time from this sort of distance, I'm really just trying to hit middle of the green. I'm not really too fussed about where the pin location is or where I'm trying to hit it close to a flag. It's really about sort of understanding that where I need to aim in relation to my shot pattern, in relation to what the par 3 is like, so what trouble is up there, where the best places are to miss it, where isn't a good spot to miss it. So all these factors I think is super important, because it then gives me the decision, or allows me to make the decision of what I'm going to do on the par 3. But I'm going to kind of just show you how this would typically look. So I'm going to hit 10 balls basically, and how I'm just going to try and hit middle of the green. I'm not going to try and put any shape on it. I'm just going to try and hit a stock 7-iron, 10 shots, and you'll see, the dispersion pattern and how we can aim our target accordingly to that pattern. So let's see what we can do. There's not much wind today. There's maybe a touch of help off the right. So it's just a pretty kind of good distance today that it's playing. And as I say, I'm just going to aim middle of the green, and we're just going to try and hit 10 kind of stock 7-iron shots. Okay, pretty good. Greens, that bounced actually pretty firm there. That pitched like middle of the green, but it's now finished kind of left edge. Don't get sucked into the pin here. Just try and hit a stock 7-iron. Okay, a little pushy. Got a good bounce, and that's now looking like it's going to be on the right edge of the green. Similar to the first one. A little high on the face, but good direction. Look good on camera. That's going to look close to the flag. Good swing to finish on ball 10. Okay, so that's 10 shots. Let's go up to the green, and I'll show you my dispersion off this distance. Okay, so here we are from behind the green, looking at where these balls have ended up. I will say, apart from this one, the kind of 3 that are off the edge of the green have just caught the slope and fed off, so they've all pitched probably around 4 or 5 yards left from where we are now, or right from the tee. And there's just one ball in the bunker, so missed one green basically out of 10. And this is super interesting now, because this is how you can start to identify your shot patterns And I think, you know, based off your targets, you can really sort of look at par threes like this and think, okay, where's a good place to miss it? Where does this suit my shot pattern? And I'm going to show you this now. Okay, so how this really works is, from the tee, I was pretty much aiming on this sort of line here. So let's say this is my center target line. Now, what I'm going to look at is how far left these balls have pitched and how far right these balls have pitched. So let's go left first. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd say 6 yards left of target line. And the right balls are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd say 7. So my dispersion there with the 7-iron from 175, 180 yards is essentially a 15-yard wide gap. Okay. Now, if I've got a pin location like this, for example, that is on the right hand side, based off my dispersion pattern there of being 7 yards right of my center target line, I know that if there's any trouble on the right side of this green, if I was to aim my center target 7 yards left or 8 yards left, depending on how severe that trouble is, I know based off my pattern, unless it's an absolute terrible swing that very rarely comes out, I am never going to miss the green in that position. So when you're standing on a par 3, you kind of want to think about assessing, ranking maybe 1, 2, 3, 3 being hardest or most penalizing of spots to miss it, and then you can aim your target accordingly to that. So for me there, aiming like I did middle of the green to this pin suits my shot pattern absolutely perfectly. Now, if you're someone that has a more of a miss to the left, then essentially your shot pattern may creep a little bit more this side, closer to the right side of the green. So let's say your biggest miss left is 10 yards and only 4 yards right. You know then that you can aim closer to the right side, giving you some space on the left there. So that's really how, kind of a simplified version of how you start to pick up, you know, your shot patterns. And you can do this obviously through your bag. So as you go up into your longer clubs, obviously the dispersion is going to be greater, it's going to be wider. But I think, you know, getting this kind of baseline data is going to be really beneficial for you and lowering your scores, because you can aim accordingly to your shot pattern. You can take out the trouble around the greens, and it gives you a much better opportunity to score. So let me know how you get on thinking about this. And as I said, give this a go, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.